You heard me.
And some
Yeah.
bonuses. And some bonuses.
Yeah. Well, I got a feeling Jason gonna be like 2018 LeBron today. You got the carry, bro. I just got I
All right,
don't know. Let me see.
y'all ready? Y'all focus?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah? Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. Okay. Hello, everybody.
Let's see what
No,
vibes me on.
I'm not singing y'all today.
I ain't gonna lie, Jazz. She had something there. She had something for a second. I ain't gonna
She can definitely get us through the railroad. I know she can get us through
lie.
Look, I'm telling you, set y'all free.
Lead us to freedom.
That's the vibe. Well, as y'all can see, we ready for this episode. Hopefully, y'all ready for this episode. Welcome to the Was It Good Though podcast, episode 11. Yes, I'm excited for every episode we reach. So,
every one of us a milestone.
so if you are new to our podcast, we rate, review, disagree, debate, and argue on movies and TV shows, old and new. I am one of your hosts. My name is Jazz. I am joined with Chris. Chris, hello, Pastor. I ain't called you that in a while because you was sitting in the last couple of episodes. So hopefully you back to your pastor status. Oh, he quiet.
Yeah, it's just a lot going on right now. I'm good. How you doing? She just popped off with the accusations and he asked me how I was doing. So it's cool.
We are joined with our other co-host, Jason. Jason, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. Ready to get into it.
I see. Can't see Jason's face. Looks like he has on his eyes.
We're trying to make sure Jean Jacket don't take me. So I got my hater blocker on today.
All right, Jason jumping right into it. Well, episode 11, as Jason pretty much referenced, the movie we will be reviewing is Nope, Jordan Peele's latest and greatest. So we're gonna be covering that today. So if you have not seen it, go ahead and pause the pod. Make a reminder to come back after you catch up on the movie. But before you go, please be sure to share, like, subscribe, rate, review, leave comments, all of that. And check out our bonus episodes as well. So I'm going to roll it over to Chris. Yeah, let's see where we going with Nope this evening.
Listen, man. So we back. Nope. As Jazz said, this is Jordan Peele's third film. She said greatest. Sure. This is his third film. Get Out, of course. And then we had Us with Lupita. This one we get back to Daniel Kaluuya. Why are you laughing, Jazz? Because I said Lupita.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. For anybody who's like doesn't know me, Lupita is she's it.
That's who you pandering to today.
Oh yeah, for sure. Every day, all day. But yeah, shout out Lupita. This is Jordan Peele's third film. This movie is interesting to say the least. So I feel like this episode is not going to be the traditional format that we've had, just pretty much breaking down the episode. Jason has seen this movie twice. Jazz and myself have seen it once under very different circumstances. So Jason, I want to start with you first off. We get the opening scene, and I'll say for myself, it threw me off because I thought it was part of the title card, the monkey named Gordy, and he's just causing havoc on a TV show set. He's killing people very violently, and we're just like, what is going on? Jason, when you first saw it, Gordy's wilding. But Jason, when you first saw this, what were your thoughts on like the direction of the film? We know this is a horror-based film, which Jordan Peele does very well. Not always the conventional horror that we may be used to. It's not really like a bunch of jump scares. It's not really, the slasher types we did Scream for episode 1. This is a little bit, different lane that we got going on. So what were your thoughts on that opening scene for us?
So when it came to the opening scene, I really didn't know. We had the trailers and whatnot. I've been trying to stay off of the trailers, and we seen the last one, and it felt like he gave a lot of the movie away, but that man gave away nothing. Yeah. Like this was in line with, like we talk about Marvel with the shifting and the fake outs that they give you. Like I really didn't know what the fuck I was here to go into, what roller coaster ride he was going to take me on, but it was just like I guess it's just that open statement of to grab you to get you to come to get you into the movie. Just like, bro, what like we you know, it seems every movie kind of I feel like plays with animals. I can't think right now, like off the top of my mind, I can't think of what it was in Get Out. But of course in Us it was the rabbits. You know, they ate the rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
So this one we got Gordy, the monkey, you know, going crazy in the actual intro. But yeah, man, it definitely it had me. I was ready for, you know, whatever, you know, was fit to happen
Yeah.
in the movie. What did you think about it?
Open up, like I said, it was very unorthodox. So, I didn't know jump scares, I didn't know like psychological thriller. I didn't really know much, what was going on. I just knew that it was going to be something that would be memorable because Jordan Peele has given that to us twice in a row. Um, I think going back to Get Out, I guess the animal you could say would be the deer. We know Daniel Kaluuya's character
You're
hit that
right.
in
He
the
hit the yeah.
first, yeah, and then we saw the deer head later on in the film when he was in the sunken place. So I guess that's a nice callback with the animals. Jazz, horror is your vibe. You love horror movies. That's been well documented between us. Um, you've seen this movie once, so I guess your initial thoughts about like how it opened up into the horror aspect, because like I said, the first scene that we saw was the monkey. It gave us very violent type off top. And then we get into the scene later on where we're introduced to our main character, OJ, who's played by Daniel Kaluuya, and his father, excuse me, is attacked by something. We don't know what's happening. Of course, we see the horses going crazy and everything like that. What were you thinking when you first saw this coming up? Like, where was your mind going into this? Because I know, you've seen a lot of horror films. Is this something that you've seen before? Is this something unique? Like, what's going on when you see
Um,
this?
Chris, why you laughing? Relax. So, y'all know.
It left her speechless, y'all. She was just like, whoa, like it left her speechless.
Because like, all right, so I'm laughing because with you explaining that, I literally thought it was a completely different scene. But as y'all know, I didn't have time to get to go see this movie in theater, so I was watching it on a stream, and the stream was a bit extra shaded. So
It was ashy.
what?
It was ashy.
Look, it was a struggle. So when I watched it, I thought he fell off the horse. I thought he had a heart attack. I didn't think anything attacked him. But when we did see his body and everything, his side of his face was just so fucked up. And it was a like a nickel that was
A nickel that killed him.
right. So I was just like, that seemed kind of strange. I wasn't sure exactly how that exchange was since it was kind of hard for me to see it. But during the bright scenes, I was able to see what was going on. But yeah, so I didn't have much for you there, Chris. I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Hey, be like that. But yeah, the father he passes away, which is unfortunate. And then we get to a scene later on where we see OJ. He's pretty much trying to keep the business afloat. So he's making all these moves to try to, make money in different ways. One of these moves he has is putting one of his prized horses into a commercial. And then we get to that scene, which is sort of awkward for OJ. He doesn't seem like the outspoken type. He's not really like a people person, it seems like, or really interacting with people a lot. His main focus is like making sure the horse is comfortable. And then we see how that goes later on when, you're in showbiz and like they want things a certain way. He's trying to warn them, hey, this is how my horse is. He's waiting for his sister. And then, of course, we get Kiki, who, in my opinion, as soon as she comes on screen, she changes the whole tone of the movie right away. Like we see, like energy is up. She vibrant. She coming in, with the jokes, the confidence when she's talking to the directors and everybody else. So I really like that offset of personalities between OJ, who's very reserved and quiet, and then you got Kiki, who is, of course, her name is M in the movie, and she's just over the top. Of course, the commercial doesn't go as planned. The horse, a little bit out of control, a little bit there, probably uncomfortable. Jason, later on, with this film, I think for me with OJ's character, I don't know when I was watching it if the way that he is was just his personality or how much it had to do with what happened to his dad. What were your thoughts on like his what we see from him early on in his personality? Because he seemed like I said, he's very reserved. He doesn't really, make eye contact with people. So like, where did you see that coming up?
So in the beginning, because I mean, eventually we understand why he's the way he is.
Mm-hmm.
So early on, I didn't know if it was, a lot of things now are focused super into mental health. So I didn't know if it was a mental health issue. But I'm not the person to be able to say, oh, he got, people call out these
Right.
different sicknesses. I'm not that guy. So I couldn't say what it was, but you can just see he was just super uncomfortable within that situation. So him being uncomfortable trying to get the horse comfortable, it was the whole thing. So he can tell the people like, hey, like relax, like that's not what they like don't do that. Like he telling them what's going on. And you mentioned it like with the people talking to him at the commercial. You have the situation of the white lady because I thought this was like an older movie
Mm-hmm.
because the white lady walks up to you like your name is OJ, and like she took offense to it like is OJ back in the day, which there's two references with OJ within this movie. I'll mention it again when the second one comes up. But it was just like a crazy situation because we're looking at it, we're in 2022. They're in California, but it's in a rural part of California. So it was just kind of, weird to see, her take that type of tone with them. And then we have, the estranged relationship with him and M.
Mm-hmm.
Him and M, they are estranged. She comes up, like Chris said, super vibrant. She goes through, and then after she finishes, she starts to spit out all the different hats that she wears and different things. And then we have the scene where M and OJ, they're in the car, they're talking, and he's asking her what she's going to do, where's she going, so he can drop her off. Just like he's trying to get rid of her, and she like I'm not. I got a little junk I can go, stay with, but I was gonna go to the house. I got to pick some stuff up from the crib. He was like, I got some business to handle. And this is when they go to Jupiter's Landing. This is where we meet Glenn. Glenn from The Walking Dead. He plays Ricky, which is Jupe. They go into his office, um, and M is like super
You got
caught up in.
everything
Yeah.
that was office.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So she's super excited about everything, and then I love this kid. What a little black kid, but OJ like, bro, relax.
You
Like
gotta
we here, what
relax.
we ain't here to do business. You over here trying to boost yourself up, and then we run back into the Gordy reference. We see a picture of Gordy on the actual the wall, and then he recants his story. He goes back into the story, and he was like, well, did you guys see the SNL skit? Chris Kattan, he killed it. And like there is an actual, you can actually go YouTube it. There is a Chris Kattan acting as a monkey on there.
Oh, okay.
But if you know Chris Kattan, he was on Night at the Roxbury with Will Ferrell when they sitting there doing this fucking shit. So if just to throw that out there for you guys.
A little Easter egg, is that what it was?
I mean, it
Hey.
was he. I mean, he plays a monkey, within the
Mm-hmm.
stories. He just wilding out on set, pretty much. Chris, when you seen Jupe go back into his story, what did you how did that make you feel? What did you think about that scene?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't get the best vibes from Jude for off rip. Like he came across as like, hey, I'm a cool, like real personable type person. But then when he started telling the story, of course, we immediately went back to the beginning of the movie. And what he's saying and what we saw from this monkey was two totally different things. So off top, I figured he had something to do with everything that was going on. We know it was like some sort of alien type film, something like that. I immediately thought maybe he's an alien, he's controlling the aliens, something.
Mm-hmm.
But I just knew he was up to no good. So hearing him, his retelling of everything that happened was really interesting. And then of course, OJ and M, they're trying to make money, of course, to keep the business afloat. And Jupe has a business proposition for them. He wants to buy the ranch. Of course, M is, gung ho. She's all in for it. Let's do it. OJ is a little bit more hesitant about it because, of course, this is something personal to him. He seems, from what we know of, he's more personal with the horses and with the actual ranch, as far as doing all of the heavy lifting and the work. And M she's just out, she's got all these business adventures, which is cool, you hustle on, but it doesn't seem like that's her top priority. So there's a little bit of conflict of interest right there. And I thought it was interesting. I feel like with Jupe's character, and as we'll go on throughout the film, he was a big piece of when you said the animals, Jason, earlier on. It felt like exploitation off rip. And I saw that a bit because it feels like he's so interested in these horses, not really to help train them, but it seems like maybe he wants to show them off for whatever reason. So that's what I got off of that.
If y'all were in a situation with either making money off of the land or just keeping it, what would y'all have done? Would you have sold it, or would you have been like, nah, keep it in the family?
Yeah, see, that's a tough situation because, I know it's a family name. And, we had a scene where when she was talking to the directors and everything, and she was talking about her family's history with the, the ranch and the horses and everything. So when you take all that into consideration, like, land, it's black, black family and all of that, that's a real tough thing to do. I don't know if I would just be so gung-ho as M was to just sell everything.
Yeah, so you have that, but then you have the intro with the actual father. At that point they already in a lot of debt. Like that's what the conversation was about. They do show stuff with the actual horses. So they put them in movies, take them to these different shows, get whatever kind of contracts money they can, so they was going to go into a big deal. But then the dad gets killed. So then when he dies, he left them with a whole bunch of debt. So kind of like you said, M, in that first scene, he looking for her, but she's missing. He doesn't know where she is. So she's not around. And like I said, OJ is being left with everything. He's having to carry everything that's going on. He have to deal with the grief of his father because he has the nickel. He kept the nickel that killed him. He keeps it at the house. So it's just everything with him. He's having to deal with all of this as well as not having the funds to be able to keep everything afloat. So it would have been a tough situation. I don't know. Like I said, the history of it would have definitely made me refrain from just going.
Yeah.
But see, Chris, you felt like she was gung ho because you remember when they made it back to the ranch. She was like, so how much they trying to make you sell it for? And he was like, why does it matter? And she was like, because I want to see how big of a dumbass you are. Before doing so I felt like maybe he was leaning more so towards doing it because he didn't have because at this point another big part in this is he's not only did he make a proposition, is he's giving them horses as well. He always gives them he giving up the horses. So he also is trying to proposition to get his horses back. Jupe is trying to take their land.
Right.
So that's where that those two things playing. So I feel like it was a little bit opposite.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
In that actual situation.
Yeah, I feel you on that. But yeah, to answer your question, it seemed like both of us, we really not leaning towards, just sell it outright.
Yeah, nah. Yeah. And then when they make it back to the actual house, and like I said, they've been estranged. So Kiki is like, bro, you're not acting like you love your sister. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? Like, we want to go, what's up in damn liquor cab? We can go hit that up. Like, what's up? He was like, I don't know about that, but I got some happy weed. She was like, shit, say less. You should have led with that, bro. So that was just like, I definitely felt that. Like, I have, like I said, me and my sister, we grew up together. So like we were super close. Felt like it was estranged. And, a couple of years ago, she invited me and my siblings, my brothers out to Atlanta to kick it with her for her birthday. So I get, that part when it comes to that sibling, whatever that is.
That dynamic, yeah.
What you got, Jazz?
Did y'all turn up?
Oh,
they did.
Big time. I fell asleep in the strip club and she was lit, but I was, I'm still the oldest.
At the pool party? Never mind.
No. No.
I got question for y'all. So with them being on that ranch, nobody's around. It's so much land out there. It's pretty much y'all out there by yourselves. Would y'all want to live out in a place like that? It just seemed like my paranoia would have me tripping like every night, like hearing stuff and ain't nobody out there.
See that, so I've been in, I've stayed in places where it's like mad land and you just like, you feel isolated. It's cool, it's peaceful. After, we'll see how this movie plays out. No, like my paranoia is just higher right now. Nah, I'm good on that.
Jason, what you think of Jason?
So, growing up, I always said I wanted to stay out in the country because I didn't want to be around people. I wanted to just like big land, stay away from people. But as I've grown older and I go to these different places, it's like, hell no. Anybody can just corner you in one of these houses. You would never know. Motherfucker just be out there just staking on your house. You just out there just plotting on you and you wouldn't know shit. Nah, I'm good on that one, Jazz. I need my neighbors, not too close, but I need to be able to see them on both sides.
Yeah.
Within that.
You got to be able to yell and somebody hear you at least. So.
Exactly. Ain't nobody help in the middle of nowhere. But I thought with that though, I thought it was dope, like having to be able to jam your music as loud as you want to.
Yeah.
And like that scene, I was just like, okay, that do seem dope.
Yeah, that was a nice little vibe there. Like Kiki was playing some dope ass music. They have getting some nice drinks, but going into this scene, she kind of reveals, her I guess her a moment that actually upset her. She was just talking with her brother, and she was talking about the first horse that she was supposed to get, which was Jean Jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Jean Jacket was a horse that they couldn't break, like they couldn't actually train it. And he said the dad never looked up, and this was a nice foreshadowing as well, because when the movie opens up, it shows that title card, but then it shows like it looks like a square box. It looks like a back of an actual truck, and it looks like something is either sucking something up or a conveyor belt that's bringing people in. So you look at Kiki, she's looking out the window as she's reminiscing over that time when it happened, and it's that same square. When actually looking at the framing of that little square box in the beginning of the movie. So I'm like, man, I wonder what's going on with that, which it kind of plays a part at the end. So she talks about her dad would never look up, but she was like, you did, nigga, you looked up at me in the midst of this shit, fucking with me. And then she was talking about, I went to this Western. And he was like, nah, it wasn't the Western, which was another Easter egg. It was the first job he took was on Scorpion King. They went out to the Scorpion King to work with The Rock, and but they used camels. They didn't even use horses at the time. They used camels for that actual scene.
Yeah.
And then Kiki looks outside and she sees Ghost. Ghost is inside the arena, which is the same place where the dad passed away. So OJ goes out to check on Ghost to see what's going on. Kiki in the house kicking it, blasting the music, going crazy.
She vibing.
And it just vibing super hard. Then she turns the music up loud, and that's one of the two rules they have. Don't play loud, don't do loud music, and it's something about the camera phone in the face. Something about in those horses' faces, like when they see it, they get spooked, they get crazy. So the horse just darts down the road within the actual path that he has to go and see it, go get the actual horse. And in the midst of this, he's kind of looking like he feels like something is over him. Like, bro, what's glooming over me? And then he looks up, and then he kind of sees something in the clouds jetting, moving back and forth pretty quick.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, hell nah. He runs back in, gets back to the house. And then he was talking to him. He was like, I can't even. He really couldn't say. He couldn't explain. Then he asked that question, which is a tagline: "What is a bad miracle?" And then want to go to y'all. Do y'all have any bad miracles that y'all can think of?
Bad miracles? Nah, I can't think of
a bad miracle. I mean, it'd be like you may break your leg jumping out of a window of a fire. Like it's a miracle, but I mean, technically that's a bad miracle. You know what I'm
that
saying?
that escalated quickly. Damn.
Where good thing came from, because I'm like, jump out a window, break leg. Where's the positive?
You didn't
Oh,
burn up.
I mean, yeah, I would rather, break my leg in hell than burn up. So hey,
okay. Um,
is that vain? I feel like that's kind of vain.
What's
well,
that?
Not wanting like physical burns on your face or your body. Just have a broken leg.
I mean, I don't think so because I mean, burning up is one thing. Normally, you get killed by the smoke. So if that take you out, your shit, you gonna be burnt the fuck
Yeah,
up
you
anyway.
out. Yeah. That just felt vain a little bit. That's like when people was talking about monkeypox and like they was taking it way more serious than COVID. Cause like you can actually see monkeypox. So
exactly.
we vain, people vain. We don't want to admit it, but we definitely vain.
Can you
Kind of
imagine
go.
all the people that would have wore their masks 2 years ago if the coronavirus was like monkeypox?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nah. People been in the house, been their ass at the house. Then they won't be worried about what's going on. That shit. Nah, fuck it. We'll see it whenever it see it. Whenever this clears up.
Yeah, but that was interesting. And then of course we saw the UFO, which our characters take an interest in. So of course they want to document this. Let's go get some cameras. So they head over to I think it was Fry's Electronics. They went over
Yeah,
there.
Fry's Electronics.
Yeah, they still got those. They're still open.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe so.
Oh, I wouldn't
Was it
know.
they got something out there where you
I don't think if they have, I ain't never seen it. I'm
at?
hitting the
Gotcha.
Best Buy, Amazon. So
Never.
Yeah,
listen.
it's a real story out there, which was we have another dialogue conversation
Hmm.
between OJ and M. They're trying to see what they want to do, how they want to go about this situation.
Yeah.
They know as far as with the money they can try to sell it in a different type of way,
Hmm.
and this goes into maybe it's blackness possibly. OJ says you want that like you get the Oprah like you can get on TV like Oprah.
Yeah.
So like his idea of of
It.
peak is
Yeah.
Oprah. He want
Yeah.
that oh he wants the Oprah shot, which is um it was interesting when it came to it. So she was saying, we'd be able to document, get the picture, and she was giving, we can make some money. And he was like, but that's not Oprah. He said, no, nigga, you said Oprah. That's what your ceiling is. I'm not saying Oprah. That's just what you said, and I want to push it back to you because that's what you gave to me.
Exactly.
So in the middle of this, they get up to the checkout, and they run into another character, Angel.
Yeah.
This is where we meet Angel, which he comes off like smart ass asshole, but like he knows a lot because he listening to the conversation. He was like, either the cameras went down because you're in the dead spot or you're in the UFO hot spot, like
Hmm.
one of those. They kind of didn't say nothing. He was like,
Yeah.
oh shit. So now he's like, I want to be a part of this shit too. So
Exactly.
I can come out to the house. He's just throwing anything. I can do it free of charge. I can set it up. I can watch it for y'all for free. You don't even have to worry about it. I can get out there like anything he can do. Angel was trying to get out to the house, and it was just so they try to see how the setup was, and they figured out it's a little bit too complicated. So
Hmm.
Uh, Angel comes out to actually help them set up the actual thing, and we find out Angel just got broke up with. Um, Angel Girl left him, threw him to the side to go to Hollywood. So he's been, I guess, fighting that the entire time
Hmm.
because the first thing he does when he makes it to the actual born is just start screaming. It was like, bro, no,
Yeah,
we
you need
do
to
not scream.
relax.
We do not scream. What you make of this? What you make of this scene, Chris?
Yeah, like when I first saw Angel, I wasn't a fan of his character. I felt like he was gonna be like a one-off type jerk character. Maybe antagonist would be the word, not so much like he's a villain per se, but just sort of opposition of our characters. But he grew on me over time. He was genuinely like a big help. Of course he set up the cameras and everything to try to catch everything. But of course, M and OJ, they like, nah, this is our thing. We trying to, reap everything. They didn't want him too much involved. But then over time, we see how important his character becomes as the story
Mm-hmm.
plays out. And I think that was good. And that's one thing that I really enjoyed about this film was character development from what we got, because you
I
get
agree.
because you get the characters, their introduction, and we may perceive them a certain way, but then over time you see how they shape the story of what Jordan Peele is trying to play out. So I thought that was really dope.
And he went to them very quickly as well, which I was just like, they might be really standoffish, which is what they were. But then, as you said, the more he was talking to them, and then the whole process of talking about his girlfriend breaking up with him, it was just like, you, like, relax. Like, he was just, he was, I was just like, be that aggravating character that's gonna get killed. I was waiting for it.
Jazz is like, yo, I'm ready for him to get it taken out. Yeah. Yeah. But one of the big plays on this film, of course, when we have our UFO, and I guess the warning sign of it coming is electrical interference. So we get to that point in the film where we have some electrical interference, and of course, the way that Angel set up the cameras, they're able to pretty much still operate despite that electrical interference coming. Then, of course, there's always a situation popping up where something has to be a foil. Who would have thought a praying mantis would have been like that thing just blocking the camera? And
Exactly.
yeah, that was pretty crazy right there. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah. So, within this, we have them. OJ, he's shutting everything down, shutting down shop. He's outside. He's putting the stuff. He's in the house preparing everything. He sees the light come on inside of the barn. He jumps up. He goes out to the barn, already doing some crazy horror. That's a fucking no in that situation. Like, I'm not going to go check a light that shouldn't be on in the middle of the fucking night. Nah, it's gonna stay on until tomorrow. It'll be okay. So he goes out, into the actual barn. He sees the projector is playing. It's playing the jockey scene on the horse. He turns it off. He walks out. It turns itself back on.
Bruh.
He was like, nope.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that was like, I like the call out whenever they begin to get scared, or whenever like a horror movie trope came up in the situation where typically they will go investigate. He was like, hell nah, I'm not fucking with it. I'm not rocking with it.
Yeah.
And then he sees like two aliens. They're side by side, and they bring pop out. And this scene was like super intense. When I'm actually watching, I'm at the edge of my seat, like, man, I just know something else is for to jump out. But instead of him running, he got a damn flip phone, so he trying to take a picture.
Yeah,
he trying to get a picture. He's like, man, I gotta get this. Like, I gotta get this shot. But it turns out to be oh goodness, Jupe. It turns out to be Jupe's kids. It turns out to be Jupe's kids in the alien outfits messing with them, and they freed one of their horses. They let one of the horses out. It was retaliation because Kiki went and stole one of Jupe's horses earlier, in the actual day. We see how that situation plays out, and kind of we go into the UFO situation. Or UAP, if that was what they call them now. But yeah, we get into that situation where they're trying to catch the actual UFO in the camera. Like I said, the praying mantis gets on the camera, and Angel is watching, like they told him not to be. He calls. He was like, "Hey, camera 2 is down." And like, there's a bug on camera A. You need to get that bug off of it so we can see what's going on. I believe things begin to start to rain down onto the actual town, which we kind of figure out where this stuff is actually coming from. This whatever this entity is shitting stuff back down onto the actual people. So I guess they make it through the actual evening, and Kiki is like, nah, fuck this, we gotta go. It's nah, we not doing this, bro. We finna go. We finna jet it. He like, I can't. I got mouths to feed. Like, I got shit to do. I'm gonna figure this out. When it comes to it, and that's when he reminisces back to his actual dad. His dad was telling him he can hear ghosts on the farm, which I would have left in. Like, what the like?
It's too spooky for me right now. We out. Sorry, Dad.
They know goes to be imagined. He was just saying, they kind of act territorial.
Yeah.
They trying to get over them. He said, I'm assuming all animals just aren't meant to be trained.
Mm-hmm.
Within that, and this is when Kiki and Angel comes back to the actual house because he's been viewing over the actual videos, and he figures out there's a cloud that isn't moving.
Right.
He figured out there's a cloud up there that's not moving in the actual sky, and he plays the tape back for M and OJ, so they can actually see it as well. They were like, yeah, that's the shot. We got the shot. He said, yeah, that's the shot, but that ain't
the Oprah shot. Yeah, exactly.
That ain't the Oprah shot. And then they reach out to the cameraman from the actual commercial.
Mm-hmm.
They reach out for the cameraman from the commercial, and they was like, "This is the offer of a lifetime," which is foreshadowing. He said, "We got the offer of a lifetime," and he was like, "Yeah, well, hopefully not my lifetime." And he was, she was trying to sell it as reality, like a reality TV, and then OJ was like, "Bro, no, fuck that. Be truthful. Just tell them the truth so we can, so they know, because we're not trying to, say no bullshit." And he kind of told him, he was like, "Well, I'm looking for the impossible." You got some, Jazz?
I know. I was gonna say, during that scene when she said it's like reality TV, he was like, "Oh hell no!" He was immediately like, they corrected her, and she was like, "Wait, documentary." He was like, "Okay,
that sounds way better."
Yeah, which made
because like an old school like cameraman or somebody that's a producer, reality TV, like, nah, that shit's trash.
Yeah, that's bottom of the barrel.
It is. So you see him as he's talking to her, he's watching the screen, he's fixing his actual camera where he's filming, different animals preying over other animals, eating, killing. That's his shit. That's what he's into. He's filming it with a non-mechanical camera. You know what I'm saying? Like when it doesn't use batteries and stuff like that, so it won't shut down. It's gonna continue to roll. As they're talking, and she told him, "I need that." He said, "You said something about the impossible shot, but I need the impossible shot." He was like, "But that's impossible." And it's like, and this kind of goes into, I mean, whenever it comes to a Jordan Peele movie, he always has a society message.
Yeah, social commentary.
So this is the part where it's more of a moment of, what are you willing to do to get to that next level?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because like I said, he's talking about an impossible shot that he said he couldn't even film, but he's willing to, to actually go out there to actually risk trying to figure it out, no matter what, at what cost within that situation. But he kind of tells Kiki's character M, I'm gonna just be honest with you. The dream you're chasing, once you get to the top, that's a dream you never wake up from. So it's just like, it's that, that scenario with like, so this kind of goes into a question, not more so here, but like, do y'all think y'all could deal with fame? Like if you was like not talking about the money aspect of it, but like the having to, like, just think about like Mike, we watched the Jordan documentary. I don't know if I don't do docs, but I did watch the Jordan doc, and he was saying like the only time he got peace was in his hotel room, because he said outside of that, like people always screaming, always running up to him. But could y'all deal with that?
Nah,
I hate when it's on me. So like, no.
Yeah, remember Kanye was flipping out on the paparazzi all them years ago? I completely understood, because like, get out my face. Like, don't talk to me, don't interview, like none of that. Don't run up on me when I'm in the house trying to take out the check. None of that. I couldn't do the fame thing. Just I'm good with just the money. Just keep me low key.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like I feel like sometimes I do feel like I would like it, like, because I mean you have some people that can kind of duck off, but it's, a lot of people, like especially today, people are super infatuated.
Yeah.
With celebrities, I want to be these people. They stand these people, like they live, breathe these people. Like you see social media all the time, how crazy people talk to people about people they'll never meet a day in their life.
Yeah.
Like ever. So yeah, it's so it was, like I said, going into this, it was interesting within that. But then we go after this, we actually get the truth of the Gordy's birthday episode. Chris, you want to take this and tell us how this was about? I liked your breakdown with we had he was talking about it because I missed it, but I called it after.
Yeah. So one of the things we learned about this UFO, what we see is basically when you look at it, that's pretty much you're susceptible to whatever happens. So pretty much when we get to this Gordy's party scene, the main focus, and I saw this on the opening scene. It sort of stood out to me. I don't know about you guys, but there was a shoe standing like upright on set. And I'm looking at that, and I really don't know what to think of it. I just knew it was going to come into play later somehow. But that really stuck out to me. Then we get to this scene here where it's like the actual story of what happened. We see Jupe, who is under the table, scared, of course, because this monkey's going crazy. The camera is focused on that shoe, but of course, we see the monkey just killing everybody else and taking everybody else out. When you look at Jupe's point of view, there's a tablecloth pretty much blocking his view as far as eyesight. So we can see what's going on, but it's sort of behind that cloth. Then of course the monkey, he's killing everybody that's in the room. He makes his way over to Jupe under the table. Jupe is obviously still alive. He doesn't really seem to have any sort of physical ramifications of this attack. So we're like, what is going on here? He never makes eye contact with the monkey. What actually happens is the monkey reaches out his bloody paw towards Jupe as, like a fist bump, where we're looking at it like, hey, what's going on with that? Of course, Jupe's retelling of this is because he was so focused on that one thing, the shoe, as opposed to, everything that was going on around him. So that was pretty much, what I caught from there. He's focused on the shoe, which is why it was such just out of place right there. Like a shoe standing upright is very unlikely to happen.
The
But just the
phenomenon.
fact that, yeah, it's just a phenomenon. So just seeing that happen, I guess you would classify that as a bad miracle. No, because everything that's going on around him is bad. But then a shoe standing up upright, that's, considered something out of the norm. So I can
Was
look
there
at it. Hmm?
was there blood on the shoe?
I did
Mm-hmm.
not catch that. It was?
It is because
Yeah.
when they because I like I said that when they were when OJ and M were in talking to Jupe, he had the
Hmm.
shoe in the actual casing.
You right. He did have it on
He
display.
has the shoe stopping up, and that's kind of crazy though. A lot of things in this movie happen that way.
Yeah.
There's a situation going on, but then you see, and that goes into the bad miracle. So you got
Hmm.
the shoe in this situation, but we
Hmm.
also have where Jupe survives this situation.
Hmm.
So that's a bad miracle because like I said, within that he survived it, but look at the chaos that happened
All
within it.
around him.
He literally watched these people get killed, and then he
Yeah.
also watched Gordy get shot in the face, like
Yeah. Right in front of him.
right in front of him.
Yeah.
And his recollection of everything is like so he has a like I don't so I didn't know if this was him portraying it as one thing and it really being something else. So he really felt like he was so connected within this situation, like he's
Hmm.
good.
Yeah.
He seemed like he like you said he kind of moved like an air like he moved kind of arrogant,
Yeah.
um, cocky type thing. Because then even after this scene, we go back into him. This him I don't know if it's him reminiscing over the scene or this just for the audience to understand what was going on. But he's sitting here, he's running over lines that he's about to do for his next performance.
Yeah. Talking to his wife.
Talking to his wife about his next scene and his performance.
Yeah. So I think it was him reminiscing about it, but also, of course, he knows the truth. And then, us seeing that is to show us as the audience what's actually happening. So, for him, he doesn't understand the fact that he didn't make actual eye contact with Gordy, so he did not kill him, or I guess it would seem to be a threat to him. But of course, that's a very traumatic situation. There could be parts where he's burying that trauma. He's just focusing on the positive, which is, hey, he made it out alive. And then, of course, the whole SNL skit thing that he was going over. But that brought me back to the shoe where he was just focused on that thing while all that chaos was going on around him. That's sort of where I got with the bad miracle type vibe right there. So,
So
it was well done.
so did he I guess when those kind of situations was able to profit off of that?
For sure, because yeah, that was his main thing. He was able to profit off of that situation because he told the story one way in order to make it appealing to people. Like it's a
Right.
story that you want to tell. You could see when he was talking to M and OJ, he was telling it with a sense of pride. It wasn't like it was like, oh, this monkey came in and killed everybody. He was saying it, fluffing it up in a way, and that's what he does.
And she definitely seemed like she was about to call him out when
Yeah,
he was explaining. She was just like, okay, like
yeah.
the story you telling obviously is
Just I'm
not
a YouTube
right.
it.
Yeah, that's her way of saying I don't believe we're gonna figure it out later.
But yeah, that's probably, I think that's like I said, that's definitely his good or a bad miracle,
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
with something like that to happen to you, as traumatic as it is,
Hmm.
was sure, he was able to profit off of it to where it's just like you wouldn't be where you are without that terrible thing that had happened,
Yeah.
Exactly.
which is crazy.
Exactly.
Like that's wild.
Yeah.
Because he said he has people that come in there they'll pay him $50,000 just to sleep in the room next to all
Right.
this stuff that's really a chaos. Like it's wild that that was a thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
That scene where he where Gordy reached out his hand, but the fist bump, like his paw. Of course, Monkey Paw Productions, haha. But it also reminded me of E.T. a little bit. So that was sort of like a callback. I didn't catch that in the theater when I saw it, but then I went home and I believe someone made a reference to it. It may have been Reddit I saw it on, but someone made a reference to the E.T. fist. And I was like, I'm sure Jordan Peele, I would give him the credit enough to do that connection for sure.
he puts a lot of his stuff in
Yeah.
these movies. Which for the jazz.
I was just gonna say, Chris, if you went home and watched ET, that's perfectly fine too.
As long as
Oh,
it's a Drew Barrymore version.
you said what, Jason?
As long as it's a Drew Barrymore version, we with it. We with it.
It's another version of ET?
They remade it.
For real?
I did not know that.
It's like in 2000 or something like that. It's like early.
Oh,
Yeah, they
okay.
redid that.
Is it good?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
He just know about it. He said, I ain't paying no mind. But the chimp too, I wanna make a reference to this later on when we get back to our actual UFO. But the chimp, we saw him dressed up in the party clothes and everything. And then of course when he was doing his damage, he took all of those clothes off. So he's showing us pretty much the real him. Like this is, y'all want me to be portrayed this way, but this is actually who I am. I look at that as a nice little callback to Stephen Yeun's character, Jude. He was telling the story, of how he wanted Gordy to be portrayed, but then how he actually was portrayed. We saw it. So we gonna circle back to that a little bit once we get further on into the plot. But yeah, we get that introduction, we get that story of what Juke was saying, of what we actually saw, and then of course he's practicing his lines because he has a show coming up. He's putting on a spectacle. He has a whole crowd of people, and then of course there's a reveal where one of his cast members survived, which is very surprising and shocking. I didn't expect there to be no survivors from what we saw from the monkeys rampage, but she survived, and it was a real um, creepy shot, and it reminded me a little bit. If I'm going to make the comparison to a Jordan Peele film and Get Out, uh, it was a scene, I believe it was The Maid, where she had like a real creepy scene. I don't remember exactly, but there was a real creepy scene where it was sort of a reveal that everything wasn't right. That's what I sort of drew from that scene where she had the veil over her face, but of course you could see that she was all messed up. It took me to that. And then,
I,
huh?
no, go ahead, Chris.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, Jupe is doing his thing. He has his big reveal, and he's pretty much saying that, hey, we're gonna have an alien, like a real life UFO, and we see the horse. So of course, OJ is selling all his horses and stuff. We see what Jupe is, trying to use it for. It pretty much seems like he's using it as bait at this point. Jason, what was your thoughts when you saw this scene? Like, like I said, when I first saw Jupe, I could tell he wasn't, it was more to it. Of course, he's exploiting. Of course, he's all about profit and everything like that. Then we sort of see this play out. This scene right here. This scene was probably one of my favorites in the film. So
Yeah, going into this scene it was. we have, like I said, the lady that you were speaking about, who got mauled by
Mm-hmm.
Gordy on the actual scene, which was, I mean, it was portrayed off an actual lady
Mm-hmm.
who was mauled by a monkey at the zoo, and she revealed herself on, who guessed it, on Oprah show. She
Huh.
revealed how she looked on
Mm-hmm.
Oprah for the Oprah shot. Just a full circle moment there.
Yeah.
But in this moment here, man, it was just like I didn't know if he was going to reveal himself as an actual alien, or what the hell was going to go on. So we see Lucky in the actual that little whatever that stand was that he had it. So I didn't know if he was going to walk out there to try to use them like as like I said, as bait,
Yeah, he
and
was
it's
using it
it
as bait. Yeah, because he was feeding the
uh,
horses to this,
to the
whatever.
actual. Got you,
Yeah.
got you. So that, I mean, that would make sense as to why the the little flag thing
Mm-hmm.
was inside of her. So at the same time, Daniel Kaluuya character OJ is pulling up, and as he's pulling up, we see the UFO come through, and it just sweeps the entire room, gets everybody, just sucks everybody up.
Yeah.
Uh, Inside of it, and then we get the first shot or first scene of the UFO. We kind of see it. Jazz, what I think this was where you wanted to step in, right? To say, what it.
I was just gonna
Uh,
ask y'all, like, when y'all first saw that, what came to mind? Like, what did y'all think when y'all saw that spaceship?
Big old vacuum. Just sucking everything up. Like
I
it was,
thought it looked like it looked. I mean, it looked like his hat, like it mimicked his hat or some
yeah.
shit. That's what it looked like to me, like
Yeah.
a cowboy hat with the opening in the bottom of it.
Hmm. Yeah, and it was interesting too because, like I said, with Juke, he was arrogant at this point, and he felt like he could control it. He's feeding it, to the horses, and he's making like this whole big spectacle of it. But it threw him off because he had a timeline of when the alien was about to show itself, and then we get the reveal here that the UFO is the actual alien itself. OJ deduces that from everything, and it seems like it's predatory, it's like territorial, so it's very it doesn't like to be mocked, I would say. Like it wants to be in control and everything like that. So when we saw this scene, it was interesting. And then of course, Jason talked about Jean Jacket, the horse earlier, that ends up being what they actually call this alien. They call it Jean Jacket. So we get a name for it at this point.
Yeah, so and then this is when OJ he gets knocked out.
Yeah.
I thought he died, but he didn't. He just gets knocked out. He gets lucky. They head back to the actual house. Angel is leaving the actual house. He's playing Sunglasses at Night on the radio, and he gets stopped. Interference, and it's freaking him out. So he's like, "Oh shit, something's about to go down." He runs back in the house, real quick, grabs a knife. As he's sitting on the actual steps, and you see OJ pull up. OJ's
Mm-hmm.
pulling up, and then it stops again.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's kind of looking up, trying to see what's going on, and you see the actual the ship.
Mm-hmm.
The ship pulls up, and then this is kind of goes back to the actual title card when it actually comes on. So when it actually comes on, hold on. Oh, what are they? You got? You still got that, Chris?
Yeah, so when it comes on as a title card and there's a Bible verse pops up, Nahum 3:6. And I guess, I don't know the version of whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
forgive me if y'all can't really understand it, but it says, I will cast abominable filth upon you, make you vow and make you a spectacle. So of course this is like, we sort of see where that ties in to
Mm-hmm.
to the plot at this point in the movie.
Yeah. So Jean Jacket has just vacuumed up this entire spectacle that
Yeah.
Ricky was doing at the actual at his facility.
Yeah.
And then he comes back to the actual home where the Haywood stay and
Hmm.
basically shit on the actual house.
Yeah.
Spit out nothing but spit out the blood, the guts,
Hmm.
the keys, and then now we figure out where all this different shit was coming from. So we figure
Hmm.
out, it sucks everything up and spits it back out. So whenever it's hungry, it eats, and then it has to poop. So it pits everything out, and we figure out, oh, so this is why the dad got killed. Like
Right.
this thing is just spitting stuff out, and it's Peloton because in the beginning you can see a key was stuck
Mm-hmm.
inside one of the horses, and I'm like that was that's strange, like a key
Mm-hmm.
just sticking out of a horse. But that's Jordan, his mind is different
Yeah,
as
like
well. Anyways,
he's really like, like you said, the callbacks of everything that happened in this film and just little details that you may not catch, which is why I feel like, I'll say this early on. This is one of the movies where you feel like you had to do a little bit of homework. I changed my perspective a little bit because it's like it rewards a rewatch. So like and it promotes discussion, which I think is something that's not really it's sort of a lost art and things nowadays because everything is so quick. Like we could binge watch everything or like movies coming out every week. This was something that really promoted discussion, which made me appreciate it a little bit more later on. But of course you had the detail, of course, when you mentioned the nickel being spit back out from the actual alien. Another thing, and I don't know if you guys would have been able to catch this because you didn't see it in theaters, but when the alien ship was hovering over the house, you could still hear the screams
of the
from
people,
of the people.
yeah, you
Yeah,
can,
so
you can hear, yeah.
it's just crazy like having that, and for me. That made it even scarier because, of course, you see this big thing sucking everybody up, but it's not even like a quick death. Like they still, getting, I guess you would say, digested at this
Until you,
point.
yeah, until you
Yeah,
hear them stop, then it just
yeah.
stops.
So it's
Yeah,
just stuff like that was just mad. It
and
was it was
and
well done, man.
yeah, then OJ is he's pulls up, he can see it, and he kind of looks out the door and he's like, "Am I gonna make a run for it? Nope, nope,
Nope.
nah."
Yeah.
Again, another one of those moments, that horror trope. He's like, "Nah, fuck that, I'm not doing nothing." And then Jean Jacket throws a horse, throws like a little, I feel like it was a training horse, through his actual window. Uh, he just sat there. He was like, "Nah, I'm not
Yeah.
doing it." So he tries. So he basically stays in the car overnight, until the next morning. He sees it clear, and then he jumped. You can hear the car. You can hear Angel car singing his
Mm-hmm.
Sunglasses at Night, which another
Mm-hmm.
Easter egg back to for sure us, because it the I Got Five on it is chopped and screwed, and it's like a horror element.
Mm-hmm.
So we get the I wear my sunglasses at night, which it kind of ties into the theme of the movie. The main thing is Jean Jacket can see you, or if it
Mm-hmm.
sees you looking, it pulls you
Right.
within there. So you wear your sunglasses. So you wear your sunglasses at night to even at nighttime to keep shit from getting into your eyes or from seeing.
Yeah.
So he tries to. So he gets out. He was going to try to go into the house, but then he makes it to the actual car. Then he sees M and
Angel.
Angel
Mm-hmm.
in the actual house, and then he's looking up because he sees a spaceship, and then he remembers his training. It goes into his training thing. It was like you never look it in the eye. You always look
Mm-hmm.
down. So he kind of in that situation, he's always put himself down in a
Mm-hmm.
situation more so in the training. So he's always dimmed his own light.
Mm-hmm.
At this actual moment, he's always dimmed his light. They get in, they make a way, they get inside the car, and they jet. They jet back to a fish place, which allegedly Jordan Peele loves fish sandwiches, which is where that fish sandwich joke came from
Oh.
Angel.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But then while they sitting here talking about it, another spectacle in the back, you see these kids fighting. Um, like it was just like that was just weird. They having this conversation. Nobody goes out there. You eventually somebody breaks it up, but like
Mm.
everybody, they just sitting there like within their situation, not even worried about overseeing what's going on behind them.
Yeah.
Um, at the actual moment, and then this when they concoct a plan to try to catch it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in a different way, which at this point they were trying to they was going to try to do like a lure um, to actually catch Jean Jacket. So they go to Angel House for the night, and then like the next day, they go back to the actual farm. When they go to the farm, everybody has on sunglasses.
Yeah.
On the actual at this time, everybody's wearing sunglasses. Well, in the daytime, not at night, but everybody have on sunglasses. You see the cameraman that was talking to, he would listen to the radio, to the news, and he seen or he heard everybody at this place got just disappeared. So he's
Mm-hmm.
like, I got to go out here and see. It's like so, but he's a great person at his job, so he knows what's going on. He's like, that cloud hasn't moved an inch, and I've
Mm-hmm.
been sitting here for like X amount of time, and it hasn't moved not a little bit. So yeah, it's something here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna because this when they go in the actual house and they begin to.
Jason. He also brought his own camera to where
Mm-hmm.
he'll function and record without power.
Yeah,
And
he had that old school crank John. Yeah.
and Kiki's character was just like, looked at Angel, was like, see, I told you he had one of those.
Yeah, nah, that was a dope the dope scene there as well, as far as with, like I said, when he come into the actual camera, because he knew wherever they was, it power wasn't going to be something that they would be able to use. So they go ahead and get everything set up in different places where they gonna be at, and then you see a man on a motorcycle with just like a one hole out coming up to the actual house, and he's talking to Kiki about different stuff, and then she figures out it's TMZ out there trying to capture some shit, and then try to get him to run off real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So he jets down the actual street and runs into the house, and you have like what movie is that? They were like, they're here. Is that Encounter the Third Mind?
That was the Signs. Or wait,
It's an older movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. The little kids devils though.
Yeah. But Angel, he kind of say that it's here, kind of like a nice little callback
Mm-hmm.
to that actual scene in that movie. But then we see, the motorcycle. He's like, so what happens when a motorcycle is going 70 miles per hour to an actual situation where power is not to be used? Yeah, he's probably gonna die. Boom! You get the wreck, and then he was like, yeah, he's dead. Now you hear this motherfucker doing is screaming.
Mm-hmm. Which we know
Just
you shouldn't be screaming. Yeah, like he just broke all the rules at that point. But whatever.
And then what'd you think about this scene with OJ trying to be the savior, Chris?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Of course, character development because going through the movie, of course, and you think back to the beginning when he was shooting the commercial, that confidence wasn't there. That like he was. Of course, we saw the callback of him looking down. He wasn't really making eye contact with people. But then over time, as we see things, and I thought one interesting scene where you sort of see him really open up was there was a scene where he and Kiki they did like their little the dapping up thing. That was sort of seeing him like open up for the first time. So I thought we got more and more of that moving forward. And then we saw he was a pretty brave person. He didn't straight out run out the barn when the kids was playing a prank on him. He seemed to be like that leader type of guy. So I thought it was good. I thought it was good growth from the character. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so he goes out here to the. Go ahead, Jazz.
Going out there to save dude.
Nah,
Nah, he would have to stay out there. Fuck that. For what?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
what?
I mean, you did anyway. We told you not to go, but
And then he tries to help me. He was like, you know what? Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna leave your ass. He's like, but get a picture. Get a picture. Like
He's just like, I'm trying to save you. Where's my camera? Where's my camera? Crazy because it makes you think like with society today, people are always quick to try to pull out their camera, always try to quick to like record everything, regardless of the situation that's going on. It's just like, so you're willing to risk your life just to get a shot to go viral or to sell. Like it's crazy the things people do just to get that shot.
For a moment. Just for a moment, Jazz. That's the wildest thing. It's not even for like if this for to be something that's gonna last you X, Y. It's you doing this for a moment. So yeah, that was wild for him to even try to do that. So OJ, he goes back towards the actual barn, which like I didn't know what it was going for within this situation, but then it kind of rolls into the actual bait. So he's dressed up. He has his Scorpion King, the Scorpion King hoodie on, which was a dope hoodie because that's what him and Kiki were talking about, and it made him think about his dad. So he's out there and then on the back of the actual hoodie, he put eyes on it, making it look as if it was looking up at Jean Jacket as Jean Jacket begins to actually chase him on the actual horse. But then he remembered the flags. Kiki created some more flags to put on the back of him. So they set up the trap, and he said he know Jean Jacket not gonna like the flags. within it. So he's running away, trying to get away. He jumps off the actual horse, and then you see Jean Jacket follows and like look more like that damn hat, bro. Whenever I see it, it looked like that dude fucking hat as it's actually trying to chase him and try to suck him up into it. And they got the shot. They get the shot, but motherfuckers is greedy, bro.
Yeah.
People gonna be greedy. We got hosts. You got a host. You get this scene, Jazz. Host.
Host is the cameraman.
Host is the cameraman taking he took the picture of it.
No, with this shot, he said that the sun. So they didn't even really get the shot. Like the sun was in the shot to where they was just like, this ain't gonna be it.
Yeah.
Or correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm pretty sure because like while Jean Jacket was chasing OJ, they were trying to swap out the film.
Yeah.
And like what's the dude's name? Angel was helping him bring it, and I'm just like, Angel, you gotta hurry up. But this isn't a smooth, like this process takes a while. So I was just like, they not gonna get it. They not gonna get it. Just like they not gonna get it. Are they gonna get it? Get the shot, but then it's just like it wasn't a good shot because the sun and the reflection and everything, it didn't make it out. So I was just like, damn.
Nah, it was dope. I think they Jordan Peele did a really good job of building tension throughout this film. That was a part of it as well. Like, Angel trying to change out the film real quick, like, are you gonna get the shot? So I thought he did a good job of that, this movie.
Yeah, this is going into the final act, and this this entire part like was super tense, bro. I like at this point I'm at the edge of my seat, like, man, hold on.
Woke up,
like
huh?
I don't know what's gonna go on. I don't know what's gonna happen. And you got, like I said, Hope. He goes up to the I'm gonna go to the top of the mountain.
He looked at Angel. He was just like, I'm gonna get it.
Like, I got this shit.
Young, so I'm just like, what you about to go get? Like, y'all gonna try to get another shot? And he was just like, nah. So I was just like, you about to risk your life, my man? Like, but
chasing it.
But like you said earlier, like to get, I think the quote that you said was, once you get to your dreams, like the highest point, that's the dream that you don't wake up from.
Exactly.
So his was to get that impossible shot. So he was reaching his dream. So like he risked his life for it. Now he'll never wake up from reaching that.
Yeah, that's like, it's super poetic, super scary, kind of dark. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you have to be willing to take an extra step, be able to risk, risk some shit to get to where you're trying to get to. But man, I don't like it in that situation. I don't think it was worth it. I mean, if he would have got it, it would be a different conversation. But he didn't get it. I don't think he got his ass sucked up. You know what I'm saying? Camera and all. He got killed by that predator. And this is where, we have the revelation between Kiki and OJ, because they just like, bruh, we still didn't get it. And now we pretty much fucked. We pretty much screwed. You got Kiki. She walks out the house. She sees OJ. They look at each other. Like I said, I'm an emotional nigga, so I'm already like, oh shit.
Don't tell me you was crying, Jason.
I didn't cry, but I wanted to.
You was close.
I wanted to. I thought about it. But I was like, hey,
I need you to cry.
Hey, look, I was about to, man. This is like when they go to Keke Palmer, man, give that woman her flowers.
No, she
Daniel, get that man his flowers. Like, within this scene, this is amazing. Another, I feel like this is another biblical reference. Took me to, I want to say it's Lot from the Bible. Lot and his wife.
Looking back at the salt. Yeah, she turned into salt. Yeah.
Yeah, she turned into salt. So we had the situation where, and I guess that's where more so it was like the emotional thing, the connection with me. Because she was walking, she was like, man, I can't. She said, don't look up, just don't look up, please don't look up, just don't look back. And it was just the whole thing of, they said don't look back, and then she did. Unfortunately, or in the Bible she looked back.
Yeah.
Kiki was able to stay her actual path within that, and then she makes it to the motorcycle. That the TMZ got wrecked. out the way, and Daniel decided to go ahead and sacrifice himself
Yeah.
uh, within that situation. Like I said, he hasn't looked up the entire time, but he finally, he took that situation to help her get away. To I didn't know if it was to get away or to get that shot or whatever the situation was, but he sacrificed himself in order for her to do it. And it was just like super dope how the music was playing within that,
Yeah.
intertwined within that, and she jets off. She's able to jet off on the actual motorcycle. She goes to Jupiter's Landing.
Hmm.
She goes to Jupiter. And I wasn't sure what the fuck she was going to be doing over here, but she's over here. What you gonna say, Chris?
Nah, it was a nice callback because we saw earlier in the film when they first went to Jupiter's Landing. There was a scene where the two kids was looking in the well, and
Yeah,
she sort of
photo
she
bomb.
photo bombed him, with the picture. So that was a callback. We get to that, and she sees this, and she's like, "Yo, this is how we can get this shot." One of the interesting things at this point of the film, of course, we had the little barbed wire and everything in the tarp, being eaten up by Jean Jacket. It changes its form, so of course, it's a typical UFO what we see. Jason said it looked like Jupe's hat, but it turns
Oh
into
shit!
forgot all about that part. Is that what?
No, bro, I wasn't even. No, I'm just like, okay, so maybe when it touches certain thing, it make that form or something.
Yeah. So pretty much what happened at this point is it's sort of been, I guess you could say, it's been exposed. So like this whole film, there's been this shroud of mystery about this alien. So of course we know it's territorial. Um, things like that. We get to this point where our characters are standing up to this alien. So they basically, they had a whole plan. They figured out a weakness, that they have where it doesn't digest certain things. And we see the alien actually change its form. So, of course, it looks like the hat or like a standard UFO that we see. It sort of blossoms up into like a butterfly. I mean, not a butterfly, I'm sorry, jellyfish. This point in the film, and when you look at what the actual alien is doing, it's an intimidation tactic because, of course, we see the UFO, we know what it is at this point, but now we get in this big spectacle. Of course, we talked about the spectacle with the Bible verse and everything, but this is, of course, the spectacle to say, hey, this is who I really am. Like look at that. And I thought it was interesting callback I mentioned earlier with Gordy the monkey. He was dressed up. That's what we wanted to view it as. But then, of course, we saw the actual what he actually was when he took off the party hat and everything. Same thing here with the alien with Jean Jacket. He was, a standard UFO, but then of course that's what it wanted us to see it as. But then of course it shows its true colors as being, its true form, this jellyfish. Almost I don't know if like how angels are depicted, but I could sort of see that as well because it's sort of like it was just really crazy. Like if you see it on the big screen, it was like really a spectacle,
Yeah, that
honestly.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it
shit
was
look
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, so that was just at that point it was an intimidation tactic and it was also showing us his true self. And then of course, it looks like a jellyfish. So that was the callback that I saw with the monkey and Jean Jacket. Because of course, the monkey, a lot of people was confused about that part of the film because it didn't seem like it had much significance outside of Jupe's story. Like how is this monkey going crazy and things like that. That's the connection that it made. And I peeped that later on.
Yeah, nah, that was a, nah, it was a super dope. Like I said, Kiki makes it to the actual Jupiter's Landing. She
Hmm.
sees, like I said, she sees the well. She pretty much knows what she's gonna do. And then she releases the Jupiter uh, balloon in the actual air because
Yeah.
it that that was gonna be another, and like you said, basically that Jean Jacket didn't want to be intimidated, so Jean
Hmm.
Jacket was gonna take out any threats. Kind of shit. We almost going back to Jurassic Park. In this scenario, it wants
Yeah.
to be the apex predator.
Yeah.
It wants to be the one. And the only reason I brought it up, Jazz, is because
Oh man.
what I was saying, Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele said, he was looking to make his own King Kong or Jurassic Park type of movie
Okay.
within the interview. So this was his spectacle that he was making. So it was dope. Kiki let the balloon go. The balloon went up in there. Jean Jacket tried to eat it, and kind of like what Chris just said, we know Jean Jacket can't eat everything. A lot of this stuff it gets stuck inside of Jean Jacket, which in
And
the
so
midst. Hey, trust me, if it's anything like acid reflux, that motherfucker would took me out too. 'Cause that shit, that's a bitch. Oh God, that is a bitch to get rid of.
Jason sound
Uh,
old as hell right now. Acid
So,
hey,
reflux.
it is, bruh.
Jeez.
Oh
I ain't
God,
I ain't hit
that's
that
like
age yet.
that's a fit. Man, I was dealing with that shit back when I was 26. So
Oh man.
you
yeah,
got an
it's
old body.
I don't really, but that was a rare thing to deal with. But yeah, I'm
Sound
over
like
that. I'm
sound
over
like you
that
might
part of my
need
life.
yeah, sound like you may needed to switch your diet up a little bit. Maybe
I
some
did. I did then, but not
yeah.
now.
Oh,
I,
okay.
I just kind of stay away from that type of stuff. But uh, you get the situation.
Fish.
What?
Hmm?
It was spaghetti and catfish.
Hey, spaghetti and catfish is fire. I don't give a fuck what you think, or how you think about that. Spaghetti and catfish is fire. If it's fried fish, it can't be a grilled fish. That shit looks disgusting. But it got to be fried fish. You know what? Actually, I just ate that. Happy birthday, grandma. I ate that with her. She just cooked it. Oh God, it
See,
was
we
fire.
can't see that. I don't feel like that's fair because, like, during my birthday, we can't even joke. We can't even get the jokes off like we really want to. So, nah, Jason, that's like, I don't like that. Nah, you shouldn't. Nah, I can't even get the jokes off now. But yeah, happy birthday.
Bulletproof here. Gotta
Yeah, bulletproof.
bulletproof that.
Yeah, I see what he did there. Oh,
uh, so with Kiki, so we have another full circle moment, because Jean Jacket used money to kill the father, and she basically used that same type of money to capture the shot that she needed,
hmm
of Jean Jacket. In the midst of being in the air, like I said, I looked at it like a butterfly. I wouldn't even think about the angel shit, but I'm with you on it too. I ain't like a big ass moth or what the fuck. I didn't know what the
Yeah,
fuck it was, but it looked like some shit up
yeah.
there. When it grabbed the that balloon, then it
hmm
explodes.
Yeah.
Then we have the moment of OJ. He pulls up that band, that horse pulls up on that horse, as the movie goes off. You think that was actually him? I think it.
Yeah, it had to be him. I think I don't think that was a try to throw us off or anything. It was definitely OG. When I seen that clip, I don't know why. It reminded me the end of Django when Django was on the horse at the end, like that last scene. That's just the first thing that popped up in my head.
That
So
nigga riding the horse.
shout outs to Jamie Foxx. uh, but yeah, I saw that. But yeah, I mean, it was just different things like that. And I think we talked about all of the callbacks and like, the full circle moments. I didn't catch that with the Nichols, that being that killed the dad. And then of course we see that's ultimately what they used to get the Oprah shot. So that was a nice callback right there too.
Yeah, man. Like I said, but it was like I said, it's definitely. I don't know. Every time Jordan make a movie, I feel like you gotta have a conversation
Yeah.
after it. Like, with this movie, Chris, just on the surface level, how did you feel about it?
So I will say this, and I'm not even gonna hold you. I left the theater and I was like, what did I just watch? Like I was just like, it was cool. Like the end was cool, like the spectacle. That scene in the barn with the kids, that was like you could feel like the fear of, and I sound like, I'm sizing it, but like you could actually feel the fear of the audience there because it was just like, what is going on? This was really the first time we actually saw like maybe a glimpse of what's actually happened. And then of course it turns out to be, a prank. So that just threw me off right there. But I came out the theater. I'm like, I gotta actually read up about this movie to really understand, what's going on. But I got some clarification. Of course, some people talked about it. Our podcast community, the Discord. They provided some links, and we had a little conversation going there, which changed my perspective of different things. And then just watching some videos, reading some forums and stuff. Over time, I enjoyed it, but like when I first left the theater, I'm like, I don't why I gotta do homework to watch it, like to enjoy the movie. I was like, come on, man, what we doing? But it's one of the things you appreciate. Like I said before, we digest stuff so differently nowadays. Like we so used to binge watching everything, from TV, music. Like we get one album this week, one the next week. You don't really have a chance to sit really and like have these type of discussions. So I think once you get to that point and you talk about it, and then as you said multiple times during this podcast, all these different callbacks and stuff, it it improved my appreciation for the film. But I ain't gonna hold you. I left the theater. I'm like, bro, I think I put it in the chat. I was like, yo, Get Out was,
Yeah, I gotta go. Yeah.
yeah,
You made a what was it? A basketball reference. You
yeah.
said I
That was
think
his
that was
Get Out was his Michael Carter Williams. Yeah, I was just like, nah, like he did it with Get Out. But nah, this is
J-
dope.
Jazz. With you, like, how do you feel about movies with social commentary within them? I know with you, like we have like some of the same taste in movies, but like it's a little. I mean, it kind of varies. Like I'm not watching Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm not gonna watch it. But
Oof.
um, me and you watched that. We watched the movie of the guy who his son got killed by the cops. And so he went to the police station.
Oh, you
Uh,
Nate.
Nate Parker. So he
Yeah.
went, he went. So I know. So I kind of I know, in the realm of what you like. But what's your take? Are you into the more you more so you like the surface, or do you like the social commentary movies, the things that make you have to.
I mean, I honestly don't mind. And I actually appreciate them a lot. And I think one of the ones I think Lovecraft is a good example. I want to use that because there was, I mean, y'all have seen it. It was so much stuff in there. And also it was stuff that from a first watch, you would have missed it. To
Hmm.
where you just
Hmm.
like, wait, I saw that, but I wasn't exactly sure. And I know like in our chat, we discussed like how Lovecraft had a podcast. And Jason, I think you listened to it. I definitely listened to it to where if it was
Hmm.
certain stuff, like after every episode, I would always tune into that podcast because a lot of things that they would discuss was like, damn, I did see that, but it didn't even connect with me. So then I would go back and rewatch it, and it would definitely make me appreciate it a lot more. So with this particular film, there was definitely a lot of stuff that I missed. And honestly, after this discussion, definitely gonna go back and rewatch and
Got
try
to.
more stuff that y'all mentioned and stuff that I saw the first time around. So I mean, I know some people don't like to try to. Why do I need to go do research, like you said,
Hmm.
for a movie? Sometimes when you go to the movies, you don't want to like think too hard about everything. You just want
Hmm.
to go and enjoy it. But Jordan Peele gonna give you something to think about. Like
Every
us,
time.
us was, I definitely watched some YouTube videos for us because I was like, wait, I knew I was something about that show. So it's just the creativity and the thought process that goes into that, like different Easter eggs. I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like about like I said, I'm on the fence. Like I'm shocked you didn't say Scream because that has a lot of social commentary in it as
I
well.
was thinking about Black issues.
I respect that. Shout out. We're rooting for everybody black. Shout out to everybody black. We're rooting for everybody black. But yeah,
And vegans. And
No, no, not vegans. No, no. Listen, man, if you,
hey,
Jason, go ahead.
we
No,
gotta get them back, Chris. We gotta get them back.
they good. They all eating their cauliflower, tuna fish, or whatever they do. They straight.
but when watching it, that they couldn't eat tuna fish, bro.
Listen, man, yo. See, so blame Jazz for this, right? So like,
No, don't blame me for
no,
nothing.
even with the vegans, like they on there like the animal empowerment thing. They
Not
wasn't messing with this movie, bro. Because my horses, bro. Tell me I'm lying, bro. See, nah.
Yeah, they definitely was like, man, stop using horses as bait, please.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
monkey, like the monkey got they good.
damn, they
they
probably was probably like, why are y'all making that monkey seem like a bad one, like so aggressive?
And the monkey done killed everybody in the whole. Nah, this is why we. This so when y'all say how I feel about vegans, now you'll see why. But
man.
please, any vegans, please still rate, follow, all that good stuff.
But I like I said with me, I'm on the I do both. I'm cool with both. Um, like some shit do be a bit over my head. I seen that Oppenheimer trailer.
Hmm.
Mr. Christopher Nolan, what the fuck is that, bro? Like I don't know. Like I don't know, man. He definitely make a movie. You be like, man, like some shit would be a little bit too far out there. Jordan, this the third one. Uh, like he I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. Like I said, you look at Jordan Peele, there's no way. I mean, Peele and Key and Peele, there's no way in hell I'm getting these movies that he's given us. There's no way in hell I thought, that would have been him uh behind, the mind behind these. But it's interesting watching these comedians cross over into the horror genre or
Yeah.
to the suspense genre, because Jazz put me onto the show, the Office show with Ben Stiller producing. Severance, the
Hmm.
Severance movie. Like that's, just it's always going when it always goes into comedians when they go or they switch over, they cross over into these realms. It's dope to see it. So Jordan Peele, he's writing them pretty well. Like he can write the character to do the comedy, but then it can go back into the horror aspect, and it's just
Hmm.
the way he plays them back and forth. Um, it's super dope. So like I enjoyed that, and like I said, this one here was a lot of biblical references. So I don't know if like I said, you don't necessarily have. I mean, he could. I don't know his faith um, at all. So like I don't know if that goes into just how he was raised, just being able to use these words to help push him. But that was dope how he used those different biblical references within the thing that, well, basically that was the plot of the movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Uh, that was the plot of the movie. But then like that the one with Kiki, that was probably my favorite though. That little moment at the end. But I mean, like I said, that just shows the acting range between them, between
Yeah.
her and Daniel on the screen.
Yeah, and I like a lot of references that he uses to other famous bodies of work. Of course, we talked about the E.T. Paul. I made that connection with Gordy. And then another thing, I don't know if y'all hip to Akira. It's like one of the most famous anime movies out there. But the slide that Kiki did on the motorcycle at the end, it was reminiscent of Akira. And that's something that's really like an impactful thing in a lot of media. I'm sure you can look it up on YouTube, but that's something that's really um, it's been replicated. I don't like to say copy, but like certain aspects of that have been replicated in a lot of different movies and TV shows. And I peeped that when I said it. I was like, oh, that's that caught me
I
too.
heard,
So
I heard he was offered the chance to do a movie, do one of their movies, and he was like, nah, I'm not, because he didn't feel like he would do it justice, so he didn't.
Akira, yeah, that's one of them things I feel like you just leave it alone. Like we don't need to, Hollywood it up or nothing like that. Just keep it as it is. So um,
But
but
yeah,
yeah, man, it was, that's pretty much the end of the film. So of course, you know why we here. Was it good though? I'm gonna start with Jazz. I want to hear what she got to say.
It was
Yeah, she got the right shirt on, right? Yeah,
nah,
Jazz.
nah, it was straight. Like I need to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah,
But on my first watch, nah, like I was just like,
wasn't hitting.
it really wasn't. But maybe me not seeing it in theaters kind of cheated myself.
yeah, this is
So
a
Yeah,
this is a this is a 4K type of movie. You gotta watch
yeah,
it.
it is definitely a theater movie. I didn't get a chance to see it in IMAX, but I feel like seeing it in IMAX would have been like a
yeah,
whole,
so
yeah.
um wasn't able to get there. So yeah, that's all.
Dang, Jason, was it good though?
I enjoyed it, man. We always talk about people are constantly rebooting, remaking, requeling, sequeling, all these different movies. So as far as somebody still coming in with a new idea, an original idea, for it to be a black man pushing these ideas, for it to be a black man showing you black people in these actual roles, where we didn't get to see these outside of like the Night of the Living Dead when they killed the man at the end. Like,
He wasn't even a zombie.
yeah, it was, yeah. This the social backgrounds then. So I appreciate Jordan. He's definitely he's putting movies out there to have a conversation. This wasn't one of those twist endings because somebody was trying to make him like he's the M Night Shyamalan. I was with a twist ending type thing. I don't feel
Yeah,
like Jordan is in that lane as well at all. I personally put this second in Jordan's catalog behind Get Out. I don't. Get Out is catch a movie and like catching a bottle in light. I don't feel like you can
Lightning
do.
in the bottle, yeah.
Yeah, that's just gonna be what that is. But I enjoyed this more than I did Us personally. I love the twist in Us was great, but I enjoyed this more than Us. But yes, I loved it.
Yeah. But I said it earlier when I came out the theater, I was like, what did I just watch? So if I'm going based off my initial reaction, I say nah. But we have discussions over time. I still have yet to rewatch it. So I'll go, rewatch it soon after after this airs and everything. And my answer could change. Right now, I'm gonna just say it was cool. It didn't blow me away. I'm not putting it ahead of Us. Call me biased, I don't care. But this didn't have Lupita, so
Ah shit! I
I,
forget.
come on, man. Like, yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
Kiki, I love Kiki, but like, come on, it's levels. So Lupita wasn't in this one, but no, it was dope. I think like you said, the callbacks was good. The references to other films was genius in my opinion, and then of course, like the whole social commentary, all that aspect of it, all of that was really good. So hats off. I mean, I enjoy all his films. He's done a good job. I don't think he's made a bad movie. And then like you said, Jason, it's original stories. We're not having like sequels and requels and all that good stuff. So for what it was, I enjoyed it a lot. I just ain't feel like I had to do homework after the movie. I was just kind of like, yeah. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much, for that film. Y'all got any ledges coming off this one?
No, I got none.
Jason, what you got? Any ledges?
Mm, they could Daniel. If that was actually Daniel at the end, I think Daniel could have died. He could have actually died. They could have killed him
Yeah,
off.
yeah. I think
Let
I agree
Kiki
with
be the
that.
lead. Let Kiki be the last, last person on there.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I would have liked them to see them kill Angel, but I don't know if that's just me being like greedy. But like somebody gotta die, like, but it was cool. I don't really have that many legends. I think for me, a little bit more of an explanation with the monkey. I don't know. I have to get deeper into that. Like I said, the only connection I made there was like, looking it in the eye, as far as that. But as far as like was the monkey an alien or not, I don't really know what was up with that.
Well, we didn't get into it really, but the no loud noises when the balloon popped, it made it snap.
Hmm.
And they told them don't do loud noise. I think that may have been like maybe like a PTSD thing, like hunters and poachers out maybe shooting guns and whatnot, and that may frighten or scare them, and they normally in like a super controlled environment
Hmm.
typically. And I mean that's the only thing I could think of within that. But like I said, we really didn't get an explanation within that. But
Yeah, I
that's
can
what I
see that with
that's what I rather.
yeah, I can see that with the horse too. When they were doing the commercial shoot. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe that was the animal thing that they tried to make that connection to. But yeah, no legends. Link of Thrones, of course, you already know what it is by now. Take an actor from the movie, put you on to something else that they may have been in. You haven't heard of it, you just ain't checking for it, whatever the case may be. Link of Thrones, Jazz, who you got in this movie? I feel like I know, but I don't want to. Let's just see who's your Link of Thrones.
My Link of Thrones is Keith David. He is Otis. He is their father. And Link of Thrones, he was the voice of Goliath in the animated series Gargoyles, which is a series that Jordan Peele would like to remake on a darker scale,
Hmm.
but just I guess trying to link up with the creators to get the idea. So they didn't agree to it, but I saw some news about that, I believe last year, that had me amped up because I would love to see Gargoyles remade, especially in Jordan Peele's vision.
That's
So
love gargoyles, bro.
you said
Yeah,
what?
that show was fire.
I said you love gargoyles, bro.
It's my favorite animated series.
Yeah, that show was fire.
Yeah, Keith also he voices the president on my show Rick and Morty.
He does so many voiceovers. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's a crazy little it's a clip of him doing the voiceovers
Yeah,
on
all of his
yeah, that was dope.
That's dope.
What you got, Chris?
My Link of Thrones is going to be my man Stephen Yeun. Of course, we know him as Jupe in this movie. Probably his most famous role is Glenn from Walking Dead. But my Link of Thrones for this is going to be Sorry to Bother You. Came out 2018. He was in that film. Of course, that film had everybody. It had Lakeith, Tessa Thompson was in that, Terry Crews, just mad people. Danny Glover, I think,
Uh,
was in that too.
Amari
Uh,
Hardwick, Ghost.
Amari Hart, Ghost is in that. So Sorry to Bother You. That's one of them. that film, if you haven't seen that, please go in blind. Do not watch any trailers. Do not look up anything on YouTube. Just watch the movie and just be mind blown. So, Linkathons, my man.
Definitely be high for that movie.
Yeah, if you want to do that too, you're gonna be tripping. But yeah, sorry to bother you. Highly recommend it. Jason, who's your Linkathons?
I'm gonna go with Brandon Pereira. This is the one that played Angel. I'm gonna go with who mentioned Jazz this week, Doom Patrol. If you haven't watched Doom Patrol, that show is gonna be talking about trippy, wild, just you kind of shocked. What you don't know where it's going to take you, and it's dealing with just normal B-list heroes. Doom Patrol is a super dope show. He plays move this out of here. Dr. Jonathan, I want to say Crane. I want to say, but it's not. It took it out of here. But yes, watching Doom Patrol is a super dope show. One of the first, the biggest thing in that is it brought Brandon Fraser back into acting, so that was a dope thing to see after how Hollywood tried to shun him out of there, because of their fuck ups. But man, he steals it. Like he's only a voice actor of the character, but the character is a main character in there. He doesn't put the suit on. But yeah, it's super dope. Super dope.
That's what's up. Well, Linkathons. I feel like, for this movie, of course, the stars, Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, none of us chose them as our Linkathons, but I still want to give some respect to them. Daniel Kaluuya, of course, he was in Black Mirror, one of the better episodes in that series. He was also in Jason. I'm surprised you ain't do this. He was in Queen and Slim. He was Slim. So you ain't give us Queen and Slim as your Linkathons.
You want to piss me off, don't you?
I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there.
That's one of the best shot movies I've ever seen with the worst fucking storyline.
That's crazy.
It was kind of wild when they was in their restaurant eating a fish sandwich. It kind of reminded me of Queen and Slim when he was talking to the chick in there who only really just answered the message because she was bored. Like, this man, he lost his life because the bitch was bored. Like, this is what I be talking about.
That was a dating app too, right? They met.
Yeah, bro. She just left the nigga on red, and then she opened it up one day and tried to go on and run from the police. Glad she got killed. He didn't have to die for that though. He should have left her ass. He should have left her ass alone. Spoiler alert.
We know how you feel about Queen and Slim. Nah, that was a dope movie. He also did Widows. I think that was a really good movie too.
I gotta watch that. I hear people always talking about it.
That was a good movie. Then of course Keke, she's been in everything. Give Keke her respect, her flowers, please. Akilah and the Bee, she was in the TLC movie. She was Chili. Yeah, so she got, Proud Family, all that good stuff. Shout outs to both of them. Yeah, that was it. Jordan Peele's Nope, his third movie. Any closing remarks, Jazz? Any questions maybe we didn't answer? Because, I feel like me and Jason was sort of like guiding you through this. You didn't really get that much of a understanding maybe of everything that was going on. So something else we covered everything for you?
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, look, we did a good job, right? I don't know. Jason, what you got? Anything else?
No, man, just a shout out to everybody who listens to us weekly, who jokes with us, who gets our brand of comedy, who gets us. We just, like I said, three nerds.
Us.
Yes, nigga, us three nerds. Akira and the beat looking ass.
That's a Jordan Peele movie. So I was trying to give you the connection, but you see how Jason.
Yeah, so we do appreciate everybody who do listen, man. Listen to our brand of comedy that gets us like just continue to like, share, comment, let your people know, let your friends know, like what we doing. Hopefully, we continue.
Yeah, man. Like they said, shout out to all the listeners. Of course, was it good though? Please like, share, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate all the viewers, all the listeners, everybody who interacts. Of course, we have a Discord community. We're probably gonna put that up on the page for y'all to join. If you're interested, we go in depth. We talked about it with this movie. Y'all can come in there and make suggestions. Just kick it, hang with us, talk with us a little bit more on a personal level. But we appreciate y'all. Was it good though? Podcast. The answer was Jason liked it, but we kind of on the fence. Yeah, I don't know. But shout out to Jordan Peele. We rewatch it and probably change our minds later. But yeah, episode 11. Appreciate it. We out.